Who am I wearing? It's a creepy question. I do not make my clothing from human skin, and I resent the implication. But if you must ask, it's Aunt Myrtle. She passed away of natural causes. We have a ritual in my family where we tan the hides of our deceased and then make them into blazers. Campaign over. I don't know. I'm wearing orange underwear. I always wear orange underwear. Thank you for your insightful question.
Thank you.
If you must really know, it's all Ivanka Trump's stuff, which you should go out and buy right now. Hi.
Hi. I'm a first-year directing student, and I was wondering, as an actor and a director, what can a director ask you to do or do to get your respect?
Well, one thing that's helpful, if a new director comes on set, and because there's always this moment where you're sort of establishing the dynamic, and I think it's good for a director to come on and sort of take control and say something like, you know, lick my shoe. Because, you know, you immediately establish that you're in a dominant position. I hope that's helpful. Yeah. I like the idea, like, you get your first break, and you're on a professional set. You just go in and you're like, guys, lick my shoe. That probably wouldn't work as well as you think. Pie, you might get a pie to the face, yeah. There are things you can ask. I like the notion of, like, what can you ask an actor to do? It conjures up all kinds of weird casting couch. I think that there's an interesting, in television it's different from theater. So in theater, there's this very protracted rehearsal period where you work on the material in great detail with the actors. And that is true also of a bigger budget films and some other instances. But in television, it has to move so quickly that we don't have the luxury of a lot of back and forth. We also don't have the luxury of a lot of extra takes even. We have to kind of get it pretty quickly. So for directors, the most important thing in television is getting the casting right, getting people who can play the roles well, and letting them kind of do their job well. So more seasoned directors tend to kind of trust their actors and don't try to tinker with them too much. On Supernatural, that's our experience. However, good directors also know when to push back when something isn't quite working. And then there's directors who will at times try to run you over. So, yeah, I don't know. There's a range there of kind of how much you can ask actors to do. At a certain point, also, you have to be really careful with actors, because if you give them too much direction, we freak out and we start to get really self-conscious and start screwing up. So
it's like with kids, kind of.
Yeah, it's like with kids or any human. So you have to be very delicate in your direction and give. And here's another thing that people screw up: they will give too many pieces. Like in the beginning of that scene, try to be more forceful with that first line, and then in the middle, what would be great is if you turned away on that line about the doorknob, and then at the very end, I want you to just try it with a smile and a cackle. And if you give like 3 different directions to an actor for one scene, they won't remember them, and they'll start short-circuiting. Because you have to remember, actors are some of the least intelligent people in the world. So you have to spoon-feed them a little bit of direction at a time, and you have to calibrate it carefully to make sure that they can process it and speak in simple terms.
You have to find that sweet spot.
Yeah, exactly. I hope this has been as helpful for you as it was for me.
It is, thank you.
Okay, good.